Campaigning is now officially over. It's all set for election day as Maharashtra and Haryana look to the 15th for the polling of votes. Hello and a very warm welcome to Verdict 2014. I'm your host Frank Pereira. First up, a look at the headlines. Campaigning in Maharashtra and Haryana comes to an end. Election Commission makes final arrangements for the polls this Wednesday. With changed equations in both states after alliances broke up, we take a look at what is at stake for the main political players in both Maharashtra and Haryana. NCP Chief Sharad Pawar praises Shiv Sena President Uddhav Thackeray ahead of the polls, raises speculation of realignment of parties in post-poll scenario. And controversy erupts over airing of Prime Minister's Madison Square Garden speech in Maharashtra. Congress moves Election Commission accusing BJP of paid news. Well, over the next half an hour or so, we're going to take you through both the poll-bound states of Haryana and Maharashtra and bring you an update from both the states. But for the time being, of course, we'll also be joined by our correspondents Kriti as well as Akhilesh from Maharashtra and Haryana respectively to talk about what's the latest there in both those states. Meanwhile, campaigning ended in Maharashtra and Haryana on Monday evening after a flurry of political rallies and roadshows by all parties. Prime Minister Narendra Modi wrapped up the BJP's campaign with 3 rallies in Palghar, Ratnagiri and Sindhudurg districts of Maharashtra. He asked voters to bring in a BJP government to ensure that the state benefits from the BJP's rule at the centre. In Haryana, Home Minister Rajnath Singh and Chief Minister Bhupinder Singh Hooda were the high-profile campaigners. Voting will take place on Wednesday. Results will be declared on Sunday. Let's go across to our correspondent Kriti Mishra, who joins us from Nashik in Maharashtra. Well, Kriti, bring us up to date with the kind of arrangements that have really been made in Maharashtra for these big polls. It's just about 24 hours to go before, or less than 24 hours, in fact, before voting begins in Maharashtra. What are the kind of arrangements that have been made there?
Right, Frank. Setting the ball rolling for the October 15 elections, elaborate security arrangements have been made. More than 2 lakh security personnel have been deployed, who would be accompanied by 390 companies of CRPF and reserve forces from the state, including Gujarat and Sikkim. Plus, these contingents would be supported and assisted by 30,000 home guards. Special security arrangements have been made in the Naxal-infested area of Gadchiroli to disrupt any kind of Maoist intervention in the democratic process. So, strict vigil would be maintained there, along with aerial surveillance. Now, during the election campaign, unaccounted cash of 15 crore and liquor worth 80 lakh were also seized, and 900 cases of violation of Model Code of Conduct were also registered. Now, polling booths which are prone to communal tension or intimidation by gundas or goons, they have been identified as vulnerable, and elaborate security arrangements have been made there. And police have also been sensitized, and quick review of relevant acts like the People's Representation Act of 1951, IPC, CRPC, and also Maharashtra Police Act of 1951 have also been reviewed. Back to you, Frank.
Indeed. Do stay with us. Kriti will come back to you for a response ahead in the show as well. In the meantime, of course, all the suspense and speculation is about to end. D-Day is less than 24 hours away. Maharashtra will vote tomorrow to elect its next assembly. And for the first time in more than 2 decades, it's going to be a 5-cornered contest. Both the BJP and the Sena and the Congress and NCP are fighting on their own in what is a high-stakes battle for the control of Mantralaya.
After weeks of a hectic campaign season, the streets have fallen calm. The wooing and the political pitch is over and done with. The voters now hold the keys to their future. They will cast their ballot on Wednesday. Election Commission has made all arrangements to have a free and fair polling.
We are fully prepared for the elections. We require almost 1.5 lakh machines, EVM machines. All machines are ready. They have been properly tested.
In so many ways, the run-up to this election has thrown up a scenario long unknown in Maharashtra. 2 of India's oldest political alliances breaking up, a multi-cornered contest, a likelihood of a fractured mandate, and fresh alliances being forged.
All are near equal. Congress, NCP, Shiv Sena, BJP and MNS. So it's a 5-corner election.
The Maharashtra State Assembly comprises 288 seats. In 2009, the Indian National Congress with 82 seats formed the government in alliance with 62 members from the Nationalist Congress Party. BJP and Shiv Sena had to sit in opposition with 46 and 44 seats each. Smaller parties comprised 54 seats in all. The picture this time may be vastly different. All parties are on their own. The elections this time are a litmus test of sorts, a test of party identities and whether they can survive on their own.
Among urban youth, there is a resentment because of lack of employment opportunities. Maharashtra is seen as industrially developed, but at the same time, the skill level, technical skill level of the youth is limited.
This thrust on defining identities has also meant parties reaching out to their core constituencies, which has also meant real issues taking a back seat. Party manifestos have been delayed. Here are some of the issues we picked up as dominant among the people. Separate statehood for Vidarbha, drinking water shortages in western Maharashtra, employment generation and environment concerns in Wardha and Chandrapur, electricity shortages and pending irrigation projects in Marathwada, and traffic congestion and urban poverty occupy center stage.
High voltage political campaign in Maharashtra has come to an end. Voters will choose the next government on 15th of October. The next government will have a challenging task to fulfill the people's demand. With camera person Siddharth, Rajkamal Rao, Rajya Sabha TV.
Kriti, coming back to you now, it's a large state, Maharashtra. There are several issues as far as the state is concerned. That aside, of course, this time around, what's going to happen is the fact that the voter is going to be spoiled for choice as well, because there are more than 4 big players in the fray. It's going to be a 5-cornered contest in Maharashtra.
Exactly, Frank. While the 2014 Maharashtra elections has given opportunity to the political parties to test their individual strengths, it is going to be very difficult for the voters to stick to their loyalties. Now, there are a number of questions to be asked. Can the BJP touch the majority mark? Can MNS, substitute Shiv Sena as BJP's ally? Is an alliance possible between the NCP and the BJP? What would happen to the Congress? Now, these are all the pertinent questions. But during the election campaign, we saw a galore of charges and counter charges. So it is also a litmus test of sorts and also high stakes for all the political parties. If I talk about BJP, after their thumping victory in the Lok Sabha elections of 2014, but remember, they performed poorly in the by-elections held in many states. Raj Thackeray would be also keenly watched, and also NCP and Shiv Sena would try to establish their hegemony as their regional satraps. But it is very important for the Congress, which is fighting against all odds and charges of corruption, to gain a 4th consecutive term, of course, without its former ally, the NCP. Back to you, Frank.
Well, indeed, of course, it's going to be a multi-cornered contest as far as Maharashtra is concerned, an interesting contest on the cards as well. We've seen the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and we've seen several bigwigs really go to Maharashtra and do all the campaigning. How much of an impact is the Modi factor really going to play out in Maharashtra, Kriti?
Well, Frank, if you look at all these surveys, the pre-poll surveys, they all say that majority mark would be touched by the BJP. But when I talked to the senior BJP leaders, they said that they didn't want to be very optimistic. They wanted to be realistic, and they said that they could gain somewhere around 120 to 140 seats. Then when I asked who would you ally with, would that be MNS, would that be Shiv Sena? Given the fact that Shiv Sena is still supporting the BJP at the center, and given the fact that Mr. Anand Gite hasn't resigned, so they haven't ruled out that possibility, though they will not say this in front of the camera. They'll always say that no, we'll get more than 150 seats. But when I asked about the possibility, they say that they expect around 20 independents to win. So with the help of the independents, they are sure that they would form the next government in Maharashtra.
All right, do stay with us, Kriti. Let's look at another aspect of what's been happening in Maharashtra as well. What's happened is the fact that NCP chief Sharad Pawar has praised Shiv Sena President Uddhav Thackeray for working hard to strengthen his party after the demise of his father and party founder Bal Thackeray in 2012. Pawar said Uddhav has proved everyone wrong by holding the party together after his father passed away. Pawar also praised Uddhav as a very hard-working leader. The praise for the Sena chief comes in the backdrop of speculation about realignment of parties after the polls. Replying to questions, Pawar disagreed that the massive mandate in favour of the BJP under Narendra Modi in the Lok Sabha elections is a threat to regional parties. Kriti, this is something else that we've seen, of course. It is very clear that even the parties understand that it's very difficult for a single party to get the majority in Maharashtra. So each one of the parties is cozying up to the other, really trying to keep all options on the table to ensure that, one of them can actually form the government there in Maharashtra.
Exactly, Frank. Let me take you down the memory lane and let's remember the vitriolic attacks that MNS had on the Shiv Sena during the 2014 Lok Sabha elections in Maharashtra. Now, if you say the tone has completely changed and now Raj Thackeray claims that the aspirations of Maharashtra, that they are more important to him than anybody's ego. So he has clearly hinted that he may go with his estranged cousin Uddhav Thackeray. And the NCP also has praised the Shiv Sena. So these satraps, these regional satraps, in a way, in a sense, after all these surveys, after these pre-poll surveys, in a sense, they are looking at the opportunity of aligning with each other to really prevent and thwart the BJP's juggernaut.
All right. Thank you so much, Kriti, for joining us there with all those details. I'm going to let you go now and concentrate on Haryana. Haryana is expecting a multi-cornered contest as it heads into polling tomorrow. Poll officials have almost finalized arrangements for the October 15th elections. For the BJP, it doesn't seem to be a cakewalk despite a big win in the Lok Sabha election. Under Bhupinder Singh Huda's leadership, the Congress is seeking a third term in the state, something that is unprecedented for any party in the history of Haryana.
Preparations for D-Day are almost done. A little over 1,500 candidates now wait with bated breath as voters will cast their ballots on Wednesday. The Election Commission has made special arrangements to prevent bogus voting.
We have also made arrangements for the live webcasting in 1,000 locations, and we added a CCTV cameras and video cameras, digital cameras and micro observers. Every booth will have one police constable and one home guard. That is a minimum. Apart from that, security, depending on the sensitivity, we will be deploying the paramilitary forces.
Congress is seeking a third term in Haryana when the state goes to polls on October 15th. Seeking a third term as Chief Minister, Bhupinder Singh Huda is leading the party's campaign this time too. The party has launched an aggressive campaign to highlight the achievements of his government. The major among them include the state's sports policy, its land acquisition policy and the old age pension scheme. BJP is contesting elections on its own after breaking ties with Kuldeep Bishnoi's Haryana Janhit Congress. Despite a stellar performance in the Lok Sabha polls, the party does not have a strong grassroots base in the state. It also does not have a face to project as the next chief minister. To add to the party's woes, there is discontent over ticket distribution. In fact, BJP is heavily dependent on the Modi magic to win here too. Meanwhile, the Indian National Lok Dal is hoping to bounce back. INLD is trying to garner sympathy for party supremo and former Chief Minister Om Prakash Chautala, who is convicted in the teachers' recruitment scam. Apart from the Congress, BJP and INLD, there are several smaller parties in the fray. Kuldeep Bishnoi's HJC and Haryana Jan Chetna Manch have formed an alliance. This alliance can influence at least 2 districts in the state. BSP and Gopal Kanda's Haryana Lokhit Party have also put up candidates. Shyam Sundar's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Our correspondent Akhilesh Suman now joins us from Haryana for more. Well, Akhilesh, as far as Haryana is concerned, caste as well as dynastic politics really rule the roost as far as this particular northern Indian state is concerned. Now, the question really is, can Haryana go beyond these boundaries and can we see a change as far as Haryana's politics is concerned?
Actually, Frank, if you go deep inside Haryana society, caste has been playing, but this time and all the times, caste also is divided in various parties. And this time you will see that Jats are fighting against Jats, and non-Jats are also either going with the Jats or going with the non-Jats. So there are 2 types of polarization, rather 3 types of polarization. One is Prime Minister Narendra Modi is selling the dream Haryana people and especially the Haryana youth that the future of Haryana BJP hand, which has power in the center, and if Haryana makes the BJP
Well, we seem to have lost the line there with Akhilesh Suman. Of course, I'll have to cut him short there and then move on to a short break right now. But much more coming up on the other side as far as poll-bound state of Haryana and Maharashtra are concerned. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's speech at New York's Madison Square Garden last month is being aired repeatedly as a BJP ad on local channels in Maharashtra. The Congress has complained to the Election Commission, accusing the BJP of misusing Modi's speech given during an official tour as the country's Prime Minister. Here's more.
Congress has lodged a complaint with the Election Commission against BJP over telecast of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Madison Garden Square speech in the United States. The speech has been run by TV channels in Maharashtra on Sunday as well as on Monday, the last days of campaigning. The party alleged BJP has violated paid news norms ahead of the 15th October polls. BJP had put out newspaper ads urging people to catch the telecast of what they call the speech that's creating waves across the world. Election rules allow ad spots if the channel makes it clear that it is promotional. Congress has asked the Election Commission to take a view on the complaint that the telecast amounted to paid news. However, BJP counters that the Madison Square Garden event was a private function and it is within its rights to use past speeches of its star campaigner. Earlier, Congress had objected to Modi's radio broadcast during the campaign season. But the Election Commission had ruled that it did not violate Model Code of Conduct. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Amalner, a nondescript town in Maharashtra, could well be called a town of millionaires. Azim Premji's father started a factory here, which is now known as the mother plant of Wipro. The company prospered and made shareholders in the town a part of its growth story. But it still lacks basic infrastructure. Here's a report.
Kadambad's father bought shares worth ₹10 some 50 years ago. He wanted to support a local businessman, Hashim Premji, to run his vegetable business. Over the years, a stupendous run-up in Wipro's stock price has now made Kadambad a millionaire. This is the story of several others residing in Amalner, a small town near Jalgaon. Though fortunes have changed for many, the town still lacks basic facilities. Dirty bylanes, jarring roads, lack of healthcare facilities, park carts for more than 8 hours. It's the same old story of slow pace of development.
बस अभी है ना कुछ दूसरा कोई विकास हुआ ही नहीं है. विकास के लिए अच्छे रोड होना चाहिए, सबको पानी मिलना चाहिए टाइम पे और जैसा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर लाइट वगैरह इंटरनेट कनेक्शन वगैरह ये सारे जरूरी है.
This tiny hamlet in Maharashtra has historical importance in the field of education. It is host to one of the oldest philosophical centers in India, the Pratap Tatvadnya Mandir. It was formerly known as the Indian Institute of Philosophy. Today, this place loses students to other urban centers due to lack of educational centers.
आज का जो युवा वर्ग है उसको बाहर जाना पड़ता है और जो रोजगार है मेन प्रॉब्लम जो है इधर रोजगार का है जो आज इसमें रोजगार जो है सब हम लोगों को चाहिए युवा वर्ग के लिए.
If you want to marry off your daughter, buy Wipro shares the day she is born and leave the rest to Azim Premji. That was Amalner's mantra a decade ago. But with changing times, Amalner is desperate to discover novel avenues and walk on the path of development. And rightly so, candidates have made development their electoral plank. Reporting from Amalner, Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Ambala in North Haryana is the state's business hub. The 4 assembly segments here are presently divided between the Congress, BJP and INLD. But there's every indication that the picture will change this time around with some tough electoral battles lined up. Our correspondent Akhilesh Suman has this report.
All the 3 major political players in Haryana hold power in Ambala. 2 out of 4 assembly segments held by the Congress, 1 by the BJP and the INLD in the other. But in all of them, there's a near uniform complaint of lack of basic infrastructure and business amenities. With a rising wave of disgruntlement against the Congress, former Congress leader Vinod Sharma has broken away and he's fighting the election on a Jan Chetna party ticket this time. The BJP is worried too. The Shiromani Akali Dal tying up with the INLD may mean the Sikh vote going away.
Congress party हमारे हरियाणा और पंजाब के बीच में जो मुद्दे थे उनको कभी सोल्व नहीं किया, बल्कि उनको हमेशा उलझाने की कोशिश की।
Over the years, Ambala has emerged as a hotspot for manufacture of specialized scientific instruments. There's a rising home consumer goods manufacturing industry too, but industrialists complain it's becoming increasingly difficult to keep operations profitable in the city.
अम्बाला कैंट जो है साइंटिफिक इंडस्ट्री के लिए मशहूर है और सिटी जो है ये मिक्सी इंडस्ट्री के लिए है। जो इंडस्ट्री है ये माइग्रेट होकर काला हिमाचल में माइग्रेट हो रहे हैं क्योंकि यहाँ बिजली की समस्या बहुत है, उनको पूरी तरह बिजली नहीं मिल रही।
बिजली यहाँ पे 24/7 अवेलेबल नहीं है और जितनी अवेलेबल है दैट इज मोस्ट कॉस्टली इन कंपैरिजन टू अदर स्टेट्स ऑफ द नेशन।
The Congress holds up the promise of development to woo the voter here, claiming strong achievements over the last decade. But will the voter be convinced? Old legacies don't look so strongly planted this time. With Akhilesh Suman in Ambala, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Well, Maharashtra braces for a five-cornered contest post the split in the major alliances, but the Malegaon Central constituency shows a largely bipolar trend. It will be a keenly watched NCP-MIM battle in this Muslim-dominated constituency. The NCP seems a decided favourite, but the MIM of the firebrand Oasis is currently in the running too. Kriti Mishra reports.
Muslim cleric Mufti Muhammad Ismail, Malegaon sitting MLA. He heads a local political body, the Tisri Mahaj, that emerged after the Malegaon blasts in 2006. Ismail's popularity derives from his efforts to maintain peace in the area after the blasts. The cleric has joined the Sharad Pawar's NCP this time. Pawar recently held up the idea of a new minority district of Malegaon carved out of Nasik. Ismail's coming on board spells a massive dose of confidence for both. But the opponent is a strong enough minority grouping too. The AIMM of Owaisi brothers does have an appeal and a hold of its own. Ever since MIM made inroads in Maharashtra by winning 13 members in Nanded civic elections in October 2012, it is trying to consolidate voters in its favour. The Owaisi brothers, who are best known for their fiery speeches, were denied permission by the Nasik police to enter Malegaon until recently. But now the MIM candidate in Malegaon claims the party is not working on any communal agenda. Down the years, Malegaon's power loom industry has almost taken a backseat. The 2006 Malegaon blast attack has come to dominate. 37 people were killed, 125 injured in blasts near a mosque. The scars finally show signs of fading. Development and upliftment of the poor seems more dominating issues this time.
रोजगार देने वाला हमारा शहर, लेकिन आज हमारे शहर की हालत ये हो गई है, डेवलपमेंट कुछ भी नहीं है। तो हमारे शहर पे हमारे यहाँ घर के बाजू में जो इंडस्ट्रीज है, पावर लूम फैक्ट्री, वो छोड़कर इचल करंजी, भिवंडी, औरंगाबाद और दूसरी जगह रोजगार हासिल करने के लिए जा रहे हैं।
There are 3 lakh voters in Malegaon's central constituency. 95% of them are Muslims. It's no surprise that this time segment has 17 Muslim candidates, the highest number of minority community in the fray.
ये जो पब्लिक है ये सब जानती है, पब्लिक है।
Right, ये जो public है वो सब जानती है. Infamous for the 2006 blast, Malegaon has learnt lessons from its past, with the last riot taking place a decade ago. Malegaon now is desperate to catch up with development. Reporting from Malegaon, Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Well, the tribal district of Bhandara is looking for a stable leadership in the state to get investments. The district is in urgent need of irrigation projects and health services. This time in the assembly polls, the district could witness a direct fight between the NCP and the Shiv Sena.
(1,500 kilometers from the state capital Mumbai, Bhandara district in Maharashtra shares its border with Chhattisgarh. which makes holding elections generally a tough job for the administration given its proximity to the left-wing extremism of Chhattisgarh.
इलेक्शन कमीशन के डायरेक्शन के मुताबिक यहाँ भंडारा एलएसी के लिए हमें वीवीपैट मशीन 584 प्राप्त हुई है, जिसका कि पूरे असेंबली सेगमेंट में प्रचार और प्रसार किया जा रहा है। उसका हैंड्स ऑन ट्रेनिंग सभी लोगों को सभी मतदान केंद्र पे बताया जा रहा है। और हमारे यहाँ फ्लाइंग स्क्वाड्स, सर्वेलेंस टीम्स और बाकी सभी टीम्स और इनको हमने नियुक्त कर दिया, उनका काम चालू है। पुलिस बंदोबस्त तगड़ा है।
Bhandara is not the only town in the district. It's also the district administration headquarters. The Wainganga river provides water for drinking and irrigation to a few villages, while the rest depend on groundwater or rain. The district has a population of over 11 lakh spread over 3 constituencies. In 2009, the Congress won the Tumsar seat, with the BJP coming second. The Bhandara city seat went to Shiv Sena, whose candidate defeated his Congress rival by over 5,000 votes. The third, Sakoli seat was won by BJP. This time, the Congress has opted out of the contest, leaving the field to the NCP. Bhandara district has the best black soil in the Vidarbha region. This type of soil is best suited for paddy, maize and cotton. But what the district lacks, however, are irrigation projects. Irrigation is in fact one of the primary objectives that all political parties campaigning in this district have been promising. But so far in the last 15 years, only one project has been completed.
Bhandara district is naturally resourceful district, and it has Wainganga river, which is a lifeline for the district. If at all farmers need anything, they need investment and infrastructure in the district. With camera person Shivakumar, Rajkamal Rao, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's it on this edition of Verdict 2014. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.